Hello, happy people, and welcome to your Moment of Zed, the YouTube channel dedicated to the most beautiful car in the world, the BMW Z3, or as the folks in Zephyr, Ontario call it, the Z3. I'm Mark, and I was not going to do a video today, but a couple things I saw on the internet kind of prodded me into it. Number one, we lost a person kind of associated with the very beginning of our love affair with this car. The actor Joe Don Baker passed away about a week ago or so. He was more famous for movies like Walking Tall, but he was part of that scene in the movie GoldenEye where we first saw the BMW Z3 and BMW kind of presented it to the world in this color. And he was the CIA agent who drove us or flew a small plane above the Z3 as it raced out on a Caribbean island, and he landed, and of course Pierce Brosnan as Bond with the beautiful girl met him, and at the end of the scene, of course, people forget, but Joe Don Baker got the car, Bond got the girl, but not sure who got the better deal. Anyways, rest in peace, Joe Don Baker. So I saw that, and I saw also, I can't remember if it was a video or an article from Haggerty about the fact that it was getting very difficult for folks to find parts for vintage cars. And now I'm talking about vintage, you know, pre-war or near-war cars. And it was getting very hard to find mechanics, and there was only one dedicated training program for mechanics of vintage cars at a place called McPherson College out in Kansas, and it was getting very difficult to source parts and source people to keep these cars running. And I thought to myself, well, we're not in that situation yet, but we might get there someday, so maybe it's time to start compiling knowledge, because sometimes when you lose people, unfortunately, you lose their knowledge as well. So I've decided to do something about that, which, and I don't know if it'll be successful or not, we'll see. But before we get to that, we have two Zeds of the Week. And first up, we have Oscar from London with his new to him 1.9 liter Roadster. He's had it for a few weeks and has lots of modifications planned for it, including lowering springs, a custom head unit, a short shifter, E46 brakes, and new wheels. Now, he works at a Mazda MX-5 shop and wants to see what's quicker, the MX-5 Miata or the Z3. I'm going to place my bets on the Z3. Thank you, Oscar. Next, Stan from the St. Louis area with his 1997 2.8 liter 5-speed Roadster in a pretty alpine white, which he bought in 2020 and currently has 106,000 miles on. He has been training himself in mechanical work. He's done the door handle gaskets, the front and rear wheel spacers. He's redone the cooling system, replaced the belts, tensioners, valve cover gasket, brake lines, rotors and pads. Up next, motor mounts, trans mount, front and rear bushings. He is also the area rep for the Z-Series Car Club of America, St. Louis chapter. Link to their Facebook page in the description. Thank you, Stan. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for sharing your beautiful cars. If you'd like to see your car on Zed of the Week, please follow the easy instructions in the description below. Also, if you like Zeds of the Week or anything else on the channel for that matter, please feel free to buy me a coffee. Use this QR code here or the link in the description, as recently Jim, Cool Cat Terry, and Alan have all bought me a coffee. Thank you so much. I am well caffeinated. I certainly appreciate that. And that's Cool Cat Terry, who has her own channel, of course, which I have mentioned here a few times. She does great work. Thank all three of you. It is certainly appreciated. Now, let's talk about my plan to kind of, I guess, preserve our knowledge. Now, of course, some of the knowledge is preserved, hopefully forever, here on YouTube through my videos, Cool Cat Terry's videos, or a whole bunch of other videos made by different creators about the Z3. But certainly not every piece of knowledge that we have, or anyone else has for that matter, is preserved on YouTube or any other particular site forever. So what I decided to do was to make a common document for us to, I guess, archive our knowledge. And I've called that very unoriginally Sources of Zed. And I've kind of started the document. Now, it's a Google document, and what I've done is I've give edit sharing access to everyone. So anyone who has the link, which will be in the description, can click on that document and add something. Well, what kind of stuff should you add? Well, as you can see, I've already added a local shop that I like, especially for exhaust work, but they do a lot of other things. Great folks there at Auto Mech and Muffler in Oviedo, but of course you don't live in Oviedo necessarily. So who's your indie mechanic that you use? Put a link to their website in this document so other people know. Do you have an upholstery person that's really good? Maybe works out of his house. Put his phone number, his name in there. Maybe you have instructions on how to do something that's kind of difficult or obscure with our car. Put a link to whatever those instructions are. Maybe you have a source of parts that's not really common knowledge, like FCP Euro, of course everyone knows about, but maybe you have another source that's an eBay source, or a guy out of his garage who has 3 wrecked Z3s and sells parts. I don't know. But what I'd like to do is maybe not lose this knowledge and just have it in one kind of common place that most of us know about. And feel free to share the document with other people as it gets built up. But I'd like to kind of build that document. Don't have a lot of hard and fast rules. Not sure if this will be successful. But if you have something that's bigger than half a page, if you could, just make it into a separate Google document maybe and give us the link, or link to the site that has what you're looking for. Maybe it's instructions with a bunch of pictures on how to do a repair. If you could get that into some other form where we just could have a link in there instead of, I really don't imagine this document being hundreds of pages, but it could be if we all add 5 pages a piece. So if you can keep it a half page or less, or if you can't, give us a link, then hopefully we can kind of build a source for people to go to when they have questions. And I don't care if you're in the United States, you're in England, you're in the Philippines, wherever you are, if you know someone or something that could help out other enthusiasts with their Z3, please put it in the document. I will just leave it open and it'll be in the cloud, I guess, wherever these documents live with Google, hopefully for a long time. That's all I've got for today. If you found this content valuable, and if you find that document valuable someday, please crush that like button as always. And remember, until next time, friends don't let friends drive boring.